Next up, we have our very own Jeermal Sylvester talking about building your JAG Army.
Good afternoon. I get it. I'm tired too, but we're going to try to get through this together. This is a PowerPoint, myself and my right-hand man, he's no longer with JAG, but my buddy and my brother, we put this PowerPoint together last year. It's the way that we built our Army in Region 2 to get employers and community partners to partner with the JAG program. Beginning game. How many chess players do I have in here? One? Two? Okay, all right. I was getting kind of worried. So you guys can kind of relate to some of the slides that will come up. We chose chess because chess is a lot like life. And in chess, you have to think before you move because one move could be the end. And so you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. And so war room strategies, that's getting together your list of potential partners, stakeholders in the community. I think when dealing with a program like JAG, we have to make sure that we have a holistic approach. And so that means the city, the mayor's office, that means colleges, that means the high schools, that means the churches, that means the community organizations. And so I made out a huge list of all of these potential stakeholders that have stake in our community because we're talking about our kids, and our kids are our future. And so I want them to make sure that they play a part in growing our kids and making them and develop them into the young men and women that we want them to be. So that's my first move. Marketing material. I believe Brianna or Laura sent the marketing materials to you guys. I'm sorry, I had them, but I changed cars and I left my laptop and all of that stuff in the other car, and so it's back in South Bend. But I did have an electronic copy of it, and so you guys should get that stuff in the mail. And what we did was we created some flyers. We put our 37 competencies on a flyer to show everything that our kids are learning. When you're talking with employers, a lot of employers don't want to have anything to do with kids because they think our youth are lazy, they think they don't want anything, and the biggest thing is they don't think that they know anything. And so to be able to show an employer the competencies that we teach, on top of those 37 competencies are competencies that were put together by employers all over the United States that they said these are things that not just youth, that people in general are lacking in their establishments currently, or people who they had interviewed. And so we put that together. We put together a pamphlet for our in-school program that kind of gave an in-depth perspective about what JAG is and what we do. This year we created a new one with the changing of funding, and so we put both of them together and we put Opportunity Youth on it, so it would be that flyer that says Opportunity Youth. And so we combine both programs with our in-school and out-of-school program. And that's one thing that I'll probably do differently. For me, JAG is just JAG for me. So when I go out, I don't just sell the in-school program. I sell in-school and out-of-school. And so I've made sure that I inform myself enough about the out-of-school program to be more than dangerous, that I can actually sell that program, and I could recruit and I could get some students into our Work One office to be a part of the out-of-school program. So I don't know if you guys have that opportunity or that option, but it's been a huge help because where it was some organizations, because of the age limit, they really couldn't do anything, and because of the type of job, they couldn't do anything with our in-school kids. They were more than willing to partner with us for our out-of-school program. Deploying your troops. See, you smile. So you know what that is. I'm going to use your chess skills because I'm not a really good chess player. So what does that mean in the game of chess? You deploying your troops.
You're more or less sending them out to the middle, a little past the middle, to fill out the other person and see what you can swipe with theirs. But you're right, it's you're watching your step. You can become active with the enemy.
Yep. And so that's what I started doing, or me and Brian started doing. once we developed that list and we got our marketing materials together, we began to create meetings through email, through cold calls, LinkedIn. How many of you guys have a LinkedIn account? Use it. Probably 70% of my connections and my contacts have come through LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn because LinkedIn shows those different people or those different pockets of people who do the same type of jobs or in the same type of career field as you. And so I utilize that. I didn't always know the person that I reached out to, but because we had similar likes or we had similar interests, you know, I gave it a shot, and I would send them an email and kind of tell them a little bit about myself and talk about JAG, and then set up that breakfast or set up a lunch meeting to sit down with them to engage them even more about our program. That's getting at the table. Some days I laugh. I'm at these pricey restaurants, so I'm eating breakfast, and I'm like, I have to pinch myself sometimes. Like, man, are you serious? I get to talk about this great and amazing program, but I get to eat lunch and I get paid to do it. I get to eat breakfast and I get paid to do it. This is my job. This has to be one of the best jobs in the world. And so I enjoy being able to do that. And when you're doing that, be mindful of the places that you choose. I've chosen some bad places, such as maybe a Starbucks or something like that, because of the high volume and traffic. And so it was hard to hear. There was a lot going on, and so it was hard to keep his attention as well as mine, because I seen a lot of people from the community that I knew, and they would come over and interrupt. So be mindful of where you're having these meetings at when you're doing it. And then when you sit down at the table, this is your opportunity to tell the who, what, when, why, and where about JAG. So make sure you got your little script together. I dropped the ball several times when I first started, because my current work life, I worked in corrections. And in corrections, you don't have to network. Safety and security is the job. And so I didn't have to worry about networking with anybody. All I had to do was ensure that the staff went home and that the students weren't killing each other or harming each other. And so there wasn't a lot of networking going on. So when I got this job, I kind of got pushed into the water. And it was nervous. I was very nervous. And I kind of had that fear that I believe it was Jeermal, and she was talking about that fear of public speaking, because I didn't know. And I didn't know what to say. And so when you don't know what to say, you don't say nothing. And what I found myself doing is missing out on great opportunities to be able to talk about this amazing program. The end game, accomplishing my objective. My objective was to be able to sell our program, sell our kids. A friend of mine at the job said, the reality of what our job is, we sell people. That don't sound right. It might be inappropriate to say, but that's the reality of what we do. We sell our students. We sell people. And so you have to know the product that you're selling. And so that means you have to get into your classrooms and build a relationship with your students, so that you know what it is he or she wants or don't want, so that you can help them achieve the success and the goals that they want to accomplish. Also, in doing that, you also help the program out. I did a little thing in class one day, and I went in and I had a Big Mac box, but I put a Speedway hamburger in it. And so I told them, I showed it to the kids. I said, "What is this?" "It's a Big Mac." I said, "What comes on a Big Mac?" They said, "Man, special sauce. It's got 3 buns and all of that." And I'm like, "Yeah, it does." Then I opened it up. Like, "Man, that ain't no Big Mac." I said, "Exactly. And that's why I need you." And I was talking to the kids. And so I can't go out and I can't sell this amazing program, and you guys are not doing what you're supposed to do. And so it was an accountability thing, and it was something visual that they can see. Because what I find myself doing is, I could go out and I could sell this program, but if I don't want to be the type of person that I got to tell you that I'm coming to your classroom so you can get your kids together. Our kids should be doing what they're supposed to do anyway, because of our program and what we're teaching them. And so that was my purpose of telling them that. I shouldn't have to call your specialist and tell your specialist that I'll be there on Monday and I'm bringing the CEO of this organization in. You guys should be on point anyway, because being a part of JAG, you set yourself apart. It should be something different about you. Your friends should see it. The teachers should see it. When you're walking down the hallway, there should be like a light around you. People should be able to say, man, what is that? And you can tell them it's JAG. JAG is changing my life every day. Creating allies. I love this because now, where I was fearful, I love it. I call myself the wolf of networking. I'm at any public social event, I'm there. Whether it's 7 o'clock in the evening, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. If it's going on and there's a lot of people there and there's people there that I think that could potentially help our program or help our kids in whatever way, shape, form, or fashion, I'm going. And I'm willing to invest my own personal time in that because I believe in these kids so much. And so I'm at the Young Professionals Network. The cutoff age is 38. I'm 43. I told them age ain't nothing but a number, and I'm still coming. So I show up because I believe in our kids. And I know that if we can get them the right opportunities and put the right people in front of them, that our kids will be super successful. And they'll far exceed those expectations that we have because I believe they truly have greater expectations for themselves. They just don't know how to quite articulate it or how quite to get there. So that's our job as coordinators and managers and specialists to kind of get them and be their compass to try to help them get to those places. You build your allies, you get people to begin to advocate for you. I befriended the vice president of Centure Bank, which is the largest privately owned bank in the state of Indiana. She sent me an email from her boss. She loved JAG so much that her boss sent her an email and said, Sheila, I know this is a great program, and I know you love Jeermal, but you work for Centure. This woman was hitting the pavement, and she was going to events, and she was going to circles and being in events that I can't get into by her being a vice president. And she was selling JAG. She was asking me for marketing materials all the time. And so when you build the right relationships, the people that you come in contact with, they'll begin to advocate for you. And they'll begin to advocate for your program and for your students. And so it's been great. I have a lot of very, very close friends now. We meet outside of work. They invite me to their family gatherings because I built a relationship. And the number one thing that I think I had to do before I could even sell JAG, I had to sell Jeermal. Because when you're dealing with people, nobody just buys Tide because Tide says come buy Tide. It has to be a family member, or you had to use Tide to see that Tide really works before you even bought into that. And so I had to sell those employers and those community partners on who I was and show them that I am who I say I am. And so when I go to those events, they were seeing me and they were like, man, I just saw you last weekend. I'm like, oh, you gonna see me at the next event too? Because I'm serious about what I do and I love what I do. And so I have a lot of different people advocating for me, not just in South Bend, in Goshen, in Elkhart, in Marshall County, up in the Michigan City area. I've partnered with other JAG specialists and we've kind of talked, and you know, if she hears something about something that's coming up in my area, she'll reach out and send me an email and tell me, hey, I think you might want to look at this, and vice versa. And so we have to do better at utilizing each other as well, because some of our kids will be going to schools in you guys' area. I don't know who's in your area, the people who have the jobs and who are willing to work with kids. And so we need to do a better job of interchanging and exchanging information so that we can really help our kids out. Your Army. When you do those things, and you got the right branding material, you fully jumped in both feet and you fully got what JAG really is. And that was probably my biggest thing. When I first started, my manager used to always say, quit asking me questions. Everything you need to answer for is in that handbook. I'm like, man, you see how big that is? I'm not going to read that. So I'm not so much different than our kids. Our kids see a lot of that stuff we give them. They be like, man, that's too much. But when I went to a couple of events and I didn't know as much as I felt like I should have known about JAG, that forced me to go and read that handbook. It's certain stuff in that handbook that you don't even got to recreate it. They got cold call scripts. They got letters already written out to send out to community partners. But most of us never even open up that book and utilize that stuff. And not saying that you have to use it, because some of it's kind of outdated and the wording is not going to work. And so you can take that, but at least you got a frame of reference And you can put it into your own words based on who you're going to go talk to. So utilize that stuff, because this helped me tremendously. And it's allowed me to create a pretty strong army in Region 2. Had a meeting with the vice president of Four Winds Casino. It's supposed to be a 45-minute breakfast. So I'm real strategic in everything that I do. So I see this guy here about 6'4", 6'5". I'm like, man, I bet he played basketball. We having breakfast. We start talking about basketball. We know some of the same people, played in some of the same pockets, and I utilized that. What was supposed to be a 45-minute breakfast ended up being a 3-hour. We didn't get done until 12 o'clock. But guess what I got out of that? Four Winds Casino has Pokagon, I can't remember the name of the organization, but the Pokagon Indians have organizations in 4 out of my 5 counties. They want to give some money to our program because I was able to show that we have a 90% graduation rate with kids who got the most barriers to success. I don't know if any of you guys have those employer guides that they gave us. I'm not sure who has one. I swear by those. I swear by them because the information in there is eye-catching. You're like, wait a minute. And then I make sure I come back around and say, yeah, I'm talking about kids who got anywhere from 9 to 12 barriers. And then I explain what some of those barriers are. And the people be like, wow, y'all do that? 90%? I said, yes, that's higher than the state and the national graduation rate. It's something to hang our hat on. It's something to be proud of. Telling them about our employer, our full-time and part-time employment rates. All of that stuff is huge. And the more you know it and the more that you utilize that stuff, you'll win. And you'll win those people over to the program as well as yourself and as well as your kids. Thank you.